There's a wide variety of decoys that we're going to use when we're using a multi-species rig. I'm going to do a demonstration right now with a mallard decoy, and it's important, especially late season when birds have been picked over, to show them a lot of different looks. You want some decoys that are active, you want some that are resters, maybe you want some that are sleeping. This particular decoy right here with the bill down is what's called a skimmer, and it's like it's feeding on the surface of the water. Gives a lot of realistic looks that provide confidence to those birds. When we rig these, especially individuals, out of the boat in the late season, we'll use what's referred to as an H anchor. And what I'm going to show you is critical in the rigging of this anchor. This is short tied, and that's the way it would be stored in the boat. It would sit just like this. When we walk out into the rig, we can drape 10 or 15 decoys over our arms, carry everything with our hands free. Now it's warm today, but imagine that it's 7 degrees or 10 degrees and things are extremely cold. What we're going to do with this H anchor, you'll notice that all the line on this decoy is wrapped around the side of the anchor. Not lengthwise like this, like 90% of the public would wrap the anchor. The reason that we wrap that line on the side of the anchor, and we're right-handed, so we hold it in our left hand and we overhand wrap to the right. And this is extremely important. Once we wrap that line up, we feed the line through the center and we drop it over one of the tabs on that H anchor, and that's what holds it in position. Now, why do we do that on the side? Because when it's 10 degrees and it's cold and we need to work with a gloved hand, we can still stick a gloved finger through there, grab that line, drop it over the tab, and handle everything in the rig with gloves on under cold inclement conditions. Now, why do we run an H anchor system? And why do we run a swivel? We put the swivel on here so that regardless of the way that bird turns in varying wind conditions, we never knot the decoy line. We don't throw any twists or wraps into it because that swivel is doing just what it's designed to do. So we clip it on here. We do a bowline. This particular knot's a bowline. And then we tie everything around our H anchor. Once we get into position, we're going to slip that line off the tab. We're going to put the decoy overboard in position, and watch what happens to the anchor. Goes down until it hits bottom. If this is the water level, now we have just the proper amount of line deployed to actually hold that duck in position. As the wind changes, that duck's going to change and it's going to maneuver in position. If we got a little bit of wind, it's going to swim on that line. But more importantly, when a bird is shot and a retriever goes out into the rig to make that retrieve, that line's dropping straight down underneath that duck, so the dog can swim in between the decoys. Imagine if we had 20 feet of line out and the line was, the road or the scope of the line was at this angle going to the fasten point on the front of the decoy. Now the dog swims by, he catches the line, we've got a mess on our hands. That's the primary impetus for running an H-style anchor in the rig. When you pick the decoys up at the end of the day, you're going to grab that H anchor, hold it in the left hand. It's an overhand wrap to the right. It's really quick. You can pass that up to the next guy in the boat, and when you get up to within 6 or 8 inches of that, you're going to reach through, drop that line over the tab. The decoy's ready to hang, be stored. There's no twist in your line. Everything's in perfect condition, so the next time that you go out on the water, you can pull this out of the bin, deploy it quickly, and everything is going to work perfectly, especially in the dark.